Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing with Dan Diker and Billy Doc Niles. Today's program is brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue on Highway 16 West Salem and downtown La Crosse. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists on La Crosse's north side. By Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona. Pizza Hut. Now here's Dan with this week's show.
Hi, good race fans. Big Boar Barbecue presenting Seven Rivers Racing KQEG TV, along with Billy Doc Niles and a slew of guests. I'm Dan Diker here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway 48th Annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend. We shot this on practice day, and so far, no casualties on the track.
You know why I like this day? We always get an audience.
Especially these guys. These guys rock.
Last
year we were facing the other way when we were taping the TV program, and we're going to talk Elko and Minnesota here in a couple of moments. But I'll tell you what, I think the big story right now is, again, we taped this on practice day Wednesday, and I've looked at the weather forecast, and Friday, Saturday is not looking promising.
It's not looking pretty at all, but I've been watching the weather for the last week and a half, and it's changed at least a half a dozen times. So we still got a couple of days. Maybe it'll change, and hopefully you're out here on Friday and Saturday watching the races with us, or watching it on KQEG TV on Sunday nights.
All right, so a lot of interesting things out here this afternoon. The return of Kevin Noodleman after a 7-year hiatus, most winningest driver in La Crosse Speedway history. Turned some high 20s and low 21s in practice this afternoon. That's to be expected after a 7-year hiatus.
Oh, especially, and I'm pretty sure they're not putting him on brand new tires, so with some scuffed up junk tires, high 20s is about as good as you can expect for someone who hasn't been on the track in 7 years.
Practice day Wednesday, the fastest Super Late models, Dan Fredrickson and Ty Majeski.
No shock there. Johnny Sauter's not in town yet. He should be in town here, Thursday or Friday, I believe?
I saw Thursday.
And Bubba Pollard's going to be here Saturday. He's racing Saturday, Sunday. He's not going to be racing the Dick Trickle.
Now I heard this afternoon, or Wednesday afternoon, we were shooting this, that he's actually running a John DeAngelis backup car, number 7, and he was here today.
Oh, really? Because when I was walking the pits, we were doing a mic check test, and I did see both DeAngelis cars. I didn't really see Bubba anywhere, but who knows? That's a darn good rumor. I saw both cars down there.
Sportsmen, a nice field of sportsmen were out practicing Wednesday afternoon. I counted 24 of them. And, well, your fast timer, Brad Worthen and Dave Trout. No
shock there. Worthen knows this track. Trout, fast everywhere that he goes. Kind of surprising that Humfeld and the 14 car, Bachman weren't in the top there. But, it's just practice. We'll see what happens when they put the good tires on and they go racing Thursday.
Thunderstocks. Adam Moore, very impressive. I think the most interesting thing is you got to walk the Action Track quarter mile Wednesday morning, and there's a new patch of blacktop that's been laid down from the exit of Turn 3 coming around Turn 4, and you saw and felt a groove going around that corner. And I was watching these drivers, both the Hornets, I think we had a handful of Hornets came out, some street stocks, and more importantly, the Thunder stocks, and it was kind of interesting to watch Adam Moore try to learn that groove.
Definitely, if you do see it on TV, and Jesse, I don't know if you can get a shot of this little trough right here, but it's not quite as deep, but just exactly pretty much like that, where you could get a foot in the groove between that new blacktop and the old blacktop. So that's something that they're a challenge that they're going to have to work on this weekend.
Who's going to have a bigger problem with the groove? Hornets, street stocks, Thunder stocks, Outlaws?
I think probably the cars with the little tires are going to have a bigger problem with it. Cars with the bigger tires, it's going to upset them a little bit, but they got enough of a car to run their way out of it. The littler cars, this could throw them for a loop.
Of course, Double O going to be coming up Thursday night. Nice menagerie.
Yeah, and you'll get some different cars going around there. Once again, could that groove come into play and decide a winner Thursday night?
Going to look at the point standings here as we head into Oktoberfest Thursday night. Of course, it's Nick Panitsky versus Steve Carlson. Been a long time since it's been Steve Carlson versus anybody.
Steve hasn't had it this close in a long time. He's had people within about 25, 30 points where he didn't have to go out and win. He just had to finish well. Tonight, for the first time in 5 years, he's the one chasing the leader. And Thursday night. He's 11 points back. They still got to do qualifying, so who knows what that point spread's going to be by the time they hit the green flag Thursday night. I do find it interesting that Carlson had about a 15, 20-point lead come the middle of July, and something happened with that car. It just wasn't as fast as it was all year. Slowly, Paninsky chipped away at that lead, and by the end of the season, there he is with an 11-point lead heading into Thursday night.
Sportsman Randy Humfeld versus Brad Worth, and 22 points. That's a whole lot to make up.
That's a lot to make up, but bigger field of cars, it's a good possibility that, anything could happen. We saw this season, even with the 14 and 16 car fields, a big wreck is a possibility. What's going to happen when they have a full field of 24 on Thursday night?
Adam Moore's pretty much wrapped up the Thunderstocks. Jason Bolster's about 40 points back. Hornets could get kind of interesting. Mark Bornitz looking for another track championship. Leads Jimmy Bjorkman by 7 and Kayla Vian by 11.
That's been a fun one to watch all year. Kayla Vian started out kind of slow. She's been coming on towards the end of the year. Bornitz and Bjorkman been the most consistent of any of them all season. And it's going to be a fun watch to watch. Jimmy Bjorkman won the Oktoberfest feature last year. Can he make it 2 in a row this year?
Of course, Chris Sampson, it looks like he's going to get his first ever championship in the street stocks on Thursday night. Now, the Outlaw's not sewn up yet as well, and this could get really interesting because Jason Bolster leads Jerry Ellsworth by 4 points. But when you're talking the Outlaw race Thursday night, there's going to be a lot more than just those two in it.
That's the beauty about Oktoberfest with this Outlaws division. It's a run what you brung, any type of vehicle. We'll see. We'll probably see a late model. We'll probably see a truck. We'll probably see a couple of modifieds. That's the fun part.
We had super late models. Dan Young broke the track record about 5 years ago.
That's the fun part about this Outlaws is anything. The only rules they got is safety rules. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Then the other division looks like Novelty's going to get racked up this weekend. Rob Stanfield leading Kayla Vian by 10. And I think that those points may be coming out of the double O to wrap up the season.
Yeah, the double O is a Novelty, so I would assume that's going to be the championship for the Novelty this year.
Any of these classes really make you sit back and go, whoa, would not have thought this at the beginning of the race season? To me, the late model class, Nick Paninsky coming out of nowhere to challenge the entire field like that, which was a huge field this year. I think, to me, that's my stunner.
Oh, definitely. At the beginning of the year, we interviewed Steve Carlson for our radio show, and he said he welcomed the competition, and he got some stiff competition. Paninsky, Jacob Gady, just to name a few, and we had a couple of first-time winners this year. He got the stiff competition he was looking for, and then he was on top of his game, like I said, till the end of July. Something went wrong with that car, and he started going backwards. So we'll see this weekend if he's got it figured out.
That's all going to be coming up. 7 championships Thursday night of Oktoberfest. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is Big Board Presents 7 Rivers Racing, KQEG TV.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue. Or you don't have to drive down to Des Moines to get great pulled pork too. If you want ribs, the best in town, pulled pork or chicken too. Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Board Barbecue.
Hi, this is Jerry Beyer, and I'm pleased to announce the opening of our new location. We're bringing our delicious ribs, pulled pork, and brisket to the north side of La Crosse. Now, if you live on the north side and you want delicious barbecue ribs, pulled pork, or brisket, now you'll find our Big Boar Cook Shack parked on the corner of George and Gillette Street every Wednesday through Sunday. We're just a short walk from your door. So come on over and sink your teeth into the barbecue voted best in La Crosse County. Don't forget takeout. Big Boar Barbecue. Now that's a mouthful.
Yeah!
Whatever your perfect temperature, you'll enjoy consistent comfort with the heating and air conditioning systems homeowners rank #1. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists, providing Coulee Region families with perfect indoor weather all year long. Call for your free estimate today, 608-782-0977. Have you tried the great lunch buffet at Pizza Hut? Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1:30, Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona offers you an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet for just $5.99. All the salad, pasta, breadsticks, and of course, delicious piping hot pizza you can eat. How about dinner? Don't get up, get online and get a large 2-topping pizza for just $7.99. It's the best pizza delivery deal at your La Crosse and Winona Pizza Hut. Call for delivery or order online. Pizza Hut.
Welcome back, Big Board Barbecue, presenting Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV, along with Billy Knockdowns. I'm Dan Diker. Practice day, Oktoberfest, 48th annual, and a couple of guys that have been here for quite some time. Todd Wilson was on with us last year at his Elko Speedway, or actually not just the Elko Speedway, Shakopee.
Raceway Park.
Got to watch him race his last race there up in Brent Kane's.
Hey, by the way,
commode.
trivia question, see if you remember this. Who won that last feature?
I have no clue. They kept feeding me beer.
Oh, Brent won the last. Oh, you won the last championship.
Last championship ever at Raceway Park. Yeah.
Conrad Jorgenson, Thundercar champion from Elko Speedway, going to be joining us as well. And known these guys for quite a while. You know, Todd, we were talking last night. It was Boone's night, by the way. You've been coming here for how long?
This is my 27th year.
Man, what about you, Conrad? It's like I can't remember past last year. Got to be a long time for both you guys.
I've been coming here, I think we celebrated my 30th anniversary probably 5 or 6 years ago, so it's been a long time.
Racing all that time?
No, mostly just partying.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. These guys are pros, by the way.
You know, I got to ask you, it has always been your motto, why bring a race car to a party? Why did you bring the race car out last year?
Jimmy Ayers told me you can bring
Bill,
a race
we'll use my mic here, Bill.
You can bring a race car to a party as long as you win the race, and that's what we did.
Thundercar champion at the Elko Speedway this year, and there's a lot of good competition up there. First off, for our La Crosse viewers, what does your car compare to that would run here at La Crosse?
The La Crosse Sportsman, we are almost identical to what they have. We have a little bit better motor. They have a little bit better race car.
Got a championship under your belt this year. How many championships have you had?
This year's number 10. So it's been doing it, but I've been doing it for a long time.
Never gets old, does it?
Winning never gets old. I'll agree with that.
That's why I'm asking you and not Bill. So anyways, on to the next question. Billy, of course, you guys have known each other for quite a while, and we know why you come back every single year, because it's family, it's tradition. Your dad has been running a record for years and years. Todd, what is it for you guys to come back every single year?
You know, it's our group from Minnesota that, we watch weekly series, but then also you gain friends, and that's how I met you guys coming here, and it's just it's a fun time. This year I came down Saturday morning, dropped a camper off at Memorial Park. We went to Rockford for Saturday night's race and then came back Sunday. So we got a good weekend of racing so far.
You've been a road warrior, man.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. We've had a couple of liquor runs, and we're making it. We're going to be good.
Well, you guys had a stretch here about a month ago. What did you hit, 3 or 4 racetracks in a week?
Labor Day weekend, we did Jefferson, Slinger, and then Golden Sands on the way home for that weekend. So by the end of that one, but every track was unbelievable racing. It was unbelievable. And
of course, you guys and this huge carafe of people that are watching, we're here for Mayfest this year. These guys created that. We had our 3rd annual Mayfest, and I'll tell you that you got to come for Mayfest next year, Jorgenson.
It's hard enough coming with these guys for Oktoberfest. I don't know if I can handle Mayfest.
When May rolls around, he's just sobering up enough to go, where'd those guys go?
Conrad, you said winning doesn't get old, 10 championships. How much longer are you going to keep going at this?
I'll keep racing until I stop winning, and that doesn't look like it's anytime soon.
Talk about the competition, car counts at Elko this year. Are you guys running pretty strong?
Yeah, the competition at Elko in the Thundercar class is phenomenal. You know, you got Brent Kane's always fast. He won the 2nd most features this year. Jeremy Wolf is always fast, and then we had 12 different winners this year, so it's pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
And that makes it for interesting news for you guys. Every weekend that you go back out there, it's not you that has a bullseye, or it's not Brent the freight train that's got a bullseye. We get a menagerie of winners like that. You got to be on your game.
Yeah, you definitely got to be at the top of your game. I think at Elko, the Thundercar class is the toughest class out there. And now my daughter started driving a power stock, so that may limit my schedule a little bit, but not too much.
Now, Todd, I know you aren't completely retired, because you and this crew of misfits we got behind the camera here do a little bit of bus racing for the Elko Speedway.
Yeah, we help them out with running some bus races and doing some different junk novelties on some of their destruction nights. they got a few more the destruction nights than you guys do here. They do it almost every other weekend or so. Yeah, so there's always something going on there, and it's fun. I still get to put a helmet on at least.
You know, something I found kind of interesting last year when I was up there, you guys actually have an outdoor theater in the back of that place now.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago that Tom got that to just use the facility a little bit more, that kind of thing. And to be honest, I haven't even been there yet. So,
Conrad, you're going to run Thursday night with our lacrosse sportsmen. A couple of drivers from your neck of the woods, primarily Devin Schmidt, ran last year, ran late model this year. He's back in a sportsman tonight. Adam Oxborough is going to pick up Rookie of the Year this year. And then you've got guys that you don't run against at all. How do you prepare to run the Lacrosse Speedway against drivers you don't even know who they are?
Yeah, that makes it a little more difficult. You get your car as best as you can in practice and just try to pick your way through the field. And for Thursday night, the goal is to run good but stay out of their way. I mean, those guys are running for a championship, and you don't want to mess that up for them.
But if the situation happens where you're running top 3, top 2, and maybe for a win, then that goes out the window.
Oh yeah, I'm going for the win for sure.
I know
and I don't know which guys are leading in points, so I'm not even sure who they are.
I know the schedule has changed a little bit. Are you going to come back Saturday night and defend your Great Northern Sportsman Series Oktoberfest title?
Saturday's bar day, so that's a really tough day to race. I have my brother-in-law Mike Tuma, who raced down here for hundreds of years, a few years ago, and he's driving my car on Saturday night in this.
Breaking news.
Got to bring up the pink flamingo because there's so many different things here at the Lacrosse Speedway that
an interview without a pink flamingo question.
That are just staples of Fest, and it's always the pink flamingo. How long ago did this thing get started?
Dave, you remember 15 years ago? Something like that? We just threw a flamingo up on top of a pole, and it became the biggest party there ever been.
Dance floor, tent, DJ system, the lights. And I mean, is that something you guys ever imagined would get that big? I mean, everybody has to go to the Flamingo.
I would have never guessed it would get that big, but with Karaoke Dave behind it, it's phenomenal.
That's one of the neatest things. Actually, I only went once last year because I did get some sleep on Friday night.
Well, yeah, we all know that story. That's an off-camera story, by the way. Yeah, we got to wrap her up here real quick. Todd, as much fun as you have every year, explain to people what this is like in about 30 seconds.
We look forward to it. We mark this on the calendars. We do little gatherings a couple weeks before to talk about what we're doing for food and what we're gonna, when we're leaving, how much we're bringing, and then the racing. And now this darn weather report doesn't look very promising, so we're just gonna hope that the weatherman Westfall is correct and it breaks apart when it comes over the hill over there. So.
I think Westfall, what he's going to do
is...
Westfall, huh? Westfall's going to get his phone out that counts, his steps and whatnot. They're going to count these guys' steps because they're going to have to do some more training if they're going to do some more barley and hopping here if we get rained out on 1 or 2 days. Definitely. Conrad, congratulations coming on. Good friend of the program.
Here,
Todd Wilson, glad to see him. We got Jess, you got to pan these guys here because without these guys aren't here.
Look at that crew.
Great group of guys. I tell you what, if you ever get a chance to go up to Elko and you run into these guys, or you hear me announce them here at the Lacrosse Speedway when they pop down here in Mayfest, you got to introduce yourself because this is a great group that comes down and makes the tradition alive every year. More Oktoberfest coming up next on K2EG TV.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue. Or you don't have to drive down to Des Moines to get great pulled pork too. If you want ribs, the best in town, pulled pork or chicken too, just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
Hi, this is Jerry Beyer, and I'm pleased to announce the opening of our new location. We're bringing our delicious ribs, pulled pork, and brisket to the north side of La Crosse. Now, if you live on the north side and you want delicious barbecue ribs, pulled pork, or brisket, now you'll find our Big Boar Cook Shack parked on the corner of George and Gillette Street every Wednesday through Sunday. We're just a short walk from your door. So come on over and sink your teeth into the barbecue voted best in La Crosse County. Don't forget takeout. Big Boar Barbecue. Now that's a mouthful.
Yeah!
Whatever your perfect temperature, you'll enjoy consistent comfort with the heating and air conditioning systems homeowners rank #1. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists, providing Coulee Region families with perfect indoor weather all year long. Call for your free estimate today, 608-782-0977. Have you tried the great lunch buffet at Pizza Hut? Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1:30, Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona offers you an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet for just $5.99. All the salad, pasta, breadsticks, and of course, delicious piping hot pizza you can eat. How about dinner? Don't get up, get online and get a large 2-topping pizza for just $7.99. It's the best pizza delivery deal at your La Crosse and Winona Pizza Hut. Call for delivery or order online. Pizza Hut.
Welcome back one more time. Big Boar Barbecue presenting Seven Rivers Racing KQEG TV. Along with Billy Knock-Niles, I'm Dan Dyker. The Vernon Rubber Race Report guy, Paul Reichert, is with us as well. Again, we taped this Wednesday of Oktoberfest. Everyone's had a chance to go out and see the cars and the stars. Man, I tell you what, Bubba Pollard, Kevin Noodleman, Bradley Tilton coming all the way from Cheyenne, Wyoming. I mean, there are so many different stories you could pick out of this 4-day mega race, Paul Reichert. There's too many headlines to sit down and write.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to talk about with Bubba now coming, and the championship battles, and the late models, and the sportsmen, and the Great Northern Sportsman Series in action, and the Mid-American stock cars. Could see Dan Gilster finally win his first championship, and God, it's overload for your mind, I think.
Well, we already talked about Thursday night. Let's talk about Friday night. The big one there, Dick Trickle 99, and that's probably the only race at Oktoberfest where you can't go, so-and-so is going to win.
Oh, no, it's a very unpredictable race. Three 33-lap segments. The first one, you start it straight up from qualifying. The second one, it's the inversion board plus 10. The third one is an inversion board plus 10. Very difficult because once you get through that first 3 to 3 laps, your tires start to wear down a little. Wear them down a little more in that second one. The third one, they are slipping and sliding all over the place trying to get to the front. It's a very fun race to watch, and if you're keeping an eye on the points, makes it very intriguing to see where them point leaders are at.
Mid-Am Championship will come down. Midwest trucks are going to be racing as well. Saw the old Byers #1 out there, and I think here at the La Crosse Speedway, that may be a truck folks are going to want to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Ty's had been in that truck twice, one at Golden Sands, one at the Dells. The truck was at the Tundra finale a couple weeks ago with 14-year-old Sam Mayer, who's been racing Legends and scored his first ever win in his debut. That truck is magic no matter who you put in it.
Friday also, the Camper Challenge Part 2 in the Big Red Barn, and rock, paper, scissors in a pet costume parade. Yes, we are going to put the Big Boar Barbecue costume on Paul Reichert. Paul Reichert, if you see him dressed up in the Big Boar Barbecue pig, he's an automatic hands-down winner of the thing.
And he'll give you an Uber ride. He ain't even hired by Uber.
Saturday, things get really interesting because pretty much everything is on the 5/8 mile. First off, the Big 8 Series. What sticks out to you?
The rumors about Jay Herbst maybe racing. I think he finished second the last time he raced here. Michael Bilderback locked up the championship last weekend at Rockford. Who knows who our local guys are going to be running. It's going to be interesting.
We know one that's going to be running because he revealed the car. I knew about this about a month ago, but mum was the word. We couldn't say anything. Jeremy Wagner bought Skylar Holshausen's old Big 8 car, had it on the track today. Does he contend?
If he gets it figured out here in practice, he's got 3 days of practice before he gets to Saturday. If he gets it figured out, yes, he does contend. That's a car that has won this Big 8 race before. He didn't. That matter of fact, the year that he won, he didn't qualify very well. He ended up coming through a qualifier, starting deep in the field. It went green to checkered, and he took the lead with 5 laps to go in that race that night.
2 of the traveling series that I announced for this year, Great Northern Sportsman Series and the Midwest Dash. Midwest Dash, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be somebody from around the Rockford, Illinois area, the Madison area. Those guys have come up here and dominated for years.
A Maloff, maybe?
A Maloff, a George Sparkman. George Sparkman, I think, is going for either his 3rd or 4th straight Oktoberfest feature win.
That's incredible.
Watch for the red Mustang #5. Great Northern Sportsman Series could be interesting. A loaded field coming from across the river this year.
Oh, most definitely. Conrad's not racing in it, but you saw in the last segment he's got who's he got in it? Someone's racing his car.
Oh, I didn't catch the name.
I didn't catch the name, but he's got someone in his car. Loaded field when it comes to lacrosse because the wild card here is the lacrosse cars. They always seem to rise up in this race. Look for Humfeld, look for Bachman, look for Warthen to be a part of this come the end of the race, and look for Schimmerhorn also.
Schimmerhorn, as a matter of fact, and I didn't get to find out why, is running, but he's not running a number 7. He's running with an 81 on the car.
I don't know. You know anything about that?
No, I really don't. Mystifies me.
Sunday it rolls around, and it's the Mac Daddy of them all, the J-Mac 63 Invite. Another one. You cannot predict the winner right now.
No, you can't. You never know. Just like with the Trickle 99, it's up in the air, up for grabs.
And that is not a race like the Trickle 99, which was modeled after another race in a different state. The J-Mac is an original one that was created for Lacrosse Oktoberfest, named after John McCarnes.
Named after John McCarnes and John McCarnes' memory the year after he passed away. I can remember the year that he passed away. I was lucky enough to be part of that Missing Man formation that we did in the Big 8 series that year, which I thought was really cool. And what a great way to honor one of the greatest promoters in Midwest racing, but probably in the country by dedicating a race to him.
Vintage Series runs on Sunday. Woody Poole's going to join us for our radio show this week. Can he win his 3rd Oktoberfest feature in a row at age 77?
Oh, I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't doubt it if he does end up claiming it for the 3rd year in a row.
Kenny Hutchins told me, though, ran the 33 Skull Bandit car. He wants it this year. And don't be surprised, Ken Lewis, we saw what happened to the Tom Reffner lookalike, the Dick Trickle lookalike during Vintage Night here. Wouldn't be surprised to see what he brings out. Sunday, 200-lap race. We're going to pick him right now. Paul Reichert, who's going to win?
Skyler.
He's got Skyler Holzhausen going. He's won big races before. A couple years ago, won a $10,000 win race in Minnesota. Billy.
You know, how can you I know it's the trendy pick right now, but the role that Ty Majeski's on, how can you pick against him right now?
And I hate to do it because Ty's going for back-to-back. He was fast, one of the fastest cars all day Wednesday. I'm going to go with Danny Frederickson.
Yeah, that's a really good pick, too. You know, another one I would probably look at, Jacob Gady has been so close, 3 of the last 4 years. How can he not pick against Jacob Gady, man? But just one right move and bang, he's the champion.
And I don't know, because I said Danny, he's not going to win. Neither is Ty, neither is Skyler. And of course, we're not playing favorites. This is just, just like who do you pick? Do you take Miami or New England? Well, you're going to go with one of the hot shoots.
Who'd have guessed Carolina beat New England last week?
But I will say, though, there are at least 7 drivers in the 200-lapper on Sunday that have a legitimate shot to win. At least 7 to 10.
We left out Travis and Johnny, the Sauter brothers. Brother and uncle.
Chris Weinkauf was in it for quite a bit last year. You got to check out his car this year. His paint job is simply outstanding.
If McGrath is here up from Iowa, he's always been a contender. So you got a pretty good stout field here Sunday.
All righty. Well, you can tell I still have a voice, so that means we were taping this on Wednesday. A lot of racing coming up. We're going to try something new this year. We're going to go live pit reporting with Billy Niles. Paul Reichert's going to be doing all of our interviews for the radio side, so we got a busy 4 days coming up, and we appreciate Jesse standing behind the camera, taking out some time to come out and fill the show for us. For Paul Reichert, Billy Niles, it's time for dinner and more racing. This is KQEG TV.
You've been watching the Big Boar Barbecue presentation of Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV. Seven Rivers Racing is brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue on Highway 16 West Salem and downtown La Crosse. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists on La Crosse's north side. By Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona. Pizza Hut. Join us next week at this same time for Doc and Dan and Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.